Hi everyone, welcome to bloom time. I was fooling around today and thought, oh, I haven't done a bloom for a while, and that's what got me started on all this. That's why my page is called Start Blooming. So I said, let's do a bloom. Let's do something fun and a bloom. So I have my little mold here, and I think it takes about 6 or 7 ounces of resin with the white. I've mixed up 8 because I have a little mold that I am working on over here that I want to use the white for. So I hope to have extra to use. I am using craft resin. It's one of my favorite resins to use. You'll hear me talk about it a lot. Low viscosity, low bubbles. You do have to wait for it to warm up to do blooms because it is low viscosity. So let's go ahead and start pouring. I'm going to start by pouring some resin into my mold. And remember, you just want to pour a light layer of resin to do a bloom. You don't want it to be too deep. Sometimes that'll cause your white to drop. Then I'm going to pour about an ounce into my cup. I might have poured too much, but that's okay. That is okay. All right, so now I'm letting that move into the mold. We're going to go ahead and make our white, and I am using Cast and Craft Opaque Pigment Concentrate. It is one of the whites that I do like to make blooms with, but you can use a white paste. You can use bloom by pouring your heart out. You can use, I like to also use Let's Resin Ocean White. It's just mixing it right, getting the right consistency to make the bloom. Now, with Cast and Craft, I usually do 5 to 6 drops per ounce. It looks like I have 2 ounces in here, so I'm going to do, I think, 11 drops to start. And I thought I fixed my bottle, but maybe I didn't. It wasn't pouring out right, and I thought I put a hole in it, but it may take me a while to get the drops. Should have mixed it first. Seriously, watch it come out. Come on. I'm gonna have to cut the bottle to fix it, but so come here often, guys. What's going on in your worlds? All right, just need 2 more and then I'm gonna check it. Hopefully I've got the right amount in here so I don't have to deal with that bottle again. I got a new bottle. My old bottle was broken. It would come out nicely, a little too fast. That looks pretty good. I might have miscounted and put an extra drop in, but that's okay. We're going with it. Let's also check the temperature of our white. Just got this little infrared thermometer off Amazon, and it says 34 degrees Celsius. And you may wonder why, when I'm in the United States, I use Celsius versus Fahrenheit. It's because I learned to do this from Julie Cutts, and she measures in Celsius, so I measure in Celsius, and that's just the way it is. All right, so now let's go ahead and drop our alcohol inks in. I am using Ranger inks today, and you'll see that I use these a lot. But I also like Let's Resin, and if my resin gets too thick, there's Decorum, which you can get off of Amazon. The first one I have is Flannel, and I'm going to do just a couple drops in the center. It's a lighter color, so I do usually put a couple more drops. Just remember, if you add too much of anything to resin, it's going to cause a problem. It may not cure correctly. So you do want to use a little caution before adding too much of anything. All right. Also, I learned not to open these above my project because sometimes the dry crusties will fall off into what I'm working on. All right, and the last one, did I tell you what color that was? Wild Plum. Isn't it pretty? It's a real bright pink. Then I have Laguna. I'm going to do this one around the edge. Come on. Sometimes the drops come out fast and sometimes they don't, and I'm impatient, so I squeeze the bottle. You know, you would think I do this to relax, can you tell? And I'm impatient. All right, while those are spreading, because you want to give the inks a little bit of time to spread, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my white cup. I use 6-ounce cups and 8-inch piping bags. Oh, I do have a lot of white. Look at that. It's a good thing I have that other project I'm going to do next. All right, and then I'm just going to snip the tip off of it, move everything out of my way. Just a small tip off. I'm not going to do it over top of my project. It's just a very tiny snip. Now, for today's bloom, I debated just going back to my roots and doing a spiral. But I actually think I am going to do something a little different. I'm going to start with the spiral. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of petals. How many more can I fit? Let's see. Let me see. Got the light in my eyes a little bit over here. All right, and that's it. Ton of white left over, but that's okay. All right, I'm not gonna do anything to the center. I'm hoping it'll look like a rose by the time everything comes together. And we may come back to back it. It just depends what I decide to do with it. And I'm gonna wait to see how it cures and how the colors look before I decide what to put on the backing. So I'll see you guys a little bit later. We are back to back this. I thought we'd do something fun. Ignore this side of the table. These are my other 2 projects I'm wrapping up. So what I did is I mixed up 7 ounces of resin, divided it amongst these cups, putting double the amount in the first cup because this is going to be my first pour. The other thing that I did is I took the same colors. So I'm using my alcohol inks, This is the wild plum, this is the Laguna, and this is the flannel. I also am adding Eye Candy Shira White Mica Powder for a cool effect. So let's go ahead and get started. Basically, I'm going to do the Crackle, but I want to try to keep it, there's no pink around here, so I thought let's put some pink around here. And then it doesn't matter if the Laguna's in the middle because you really won't be able to see it. But then also to add some flannel to push it out just a bit. And I think it gives it kind of a cool effect to use the same colors but alternating, so that you can sort of get some sort of pattern out of it. All right, so let's go. I'm going to pour this sort of around the edge. A little more over here. And let's go ahead and scrape some of this out of my cup. I do want it to kind of fill the mold, or to fill the mold, because I do think it flows in better if there's a base layer down. So what I usually try to do is put some sort of base, and this is going to be my base. Just give it a little shove anywhere it needs it. But we had a pretty, that worked. That amount worked pretty well, don't you think? Let it move into it a little bit more completely. All right, so that was our wild plum. And now we're gonna do our mica powder. Just making sure it's stirred completely. Like I always say, you don't want any mica powder lumps. I'm gonna start from pouring it pretty high up. And I'm doing the entire cup. There's no alternating or anything. All right, there's our white. And now it's our Laguna. And my mold is getting pretty full. So I'm not 100% sure I'll be able to fit all this in. Let's pour some of this and see how it's going. Oh, I'm doing okay. I might be able to get all three colors in. I just didn't use just a tiny bit of the Laguna. That's okay. I'm getting really close to the edge. I may not be able to put all of this, but we'll give it a go. And that's okay. If I can't, I'm just really close to the edge. Ooh, we might make it. We might make it. Oh, we're making it. We're making it. All right, awesome. Awesome, and that looks pretty cool. Hopefully we'll be able to see the pink around the edge. I'm going to give it a hit of heat. I am not doing anything in the center because we have the flower, and that will be in the center. So this is done. I'll hit it with heat again as bubbles rise if needed. But then we'll come back when it's ready to unmold. All right, we're back to unmold. I'm a little worried. It looks like my mold wasn't even and that it slid a little, but we'll see. We'll see how it came out. All right. Oh, no, look at that. Oh, my goodness. That is gorgeous. I can't tell if the light is in the way. Let's bring it a little closer. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh, beautiful.